and welcome to my vlog. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. I am Corey. I am the business owner behind Two Little Knots, where I crochet stuffies, loveys, blankets, all kinds of things for little ones of all ages, and that does include adults. I do not normally film on the weekend. It is Sunday, February 8th, I believe, right? The 8th. I don't normally film on Sundays, but I wanted to update you guys on something from last week's video, so I figured I would bring you with me a little bit today. First of all, I finished up an order this morning, so here they are. Tigger and Pooh. I finished these up. These are both going to the same customer, Kimberly. If you are watching, thank you so much for your order. These will head out tomorrow. And since I finished these, I was looking at my next order this morning, and it is for 3 of the 100 Acre Cuddle friends. So I'm going to pause on that real quick. And I actually wanted to circle back to the pattern test that I was working on last week. If you watched last week's video, I showed you this bunny that I had started testing for Brittany at Twisted Hooker, and I really love the bunny, but I just feel like her eyes are too big, and I kind of want to cut the top open and then just frog it so I can redo her eyes. But right now, I figured I would just try to make another one and to get some pictures taken today to send over to her. And if I told you that this has all been a seamless project, I would be lying. I grabbed mushroom. I've actually already recorded a whole video, and I grabbed a skein of mushroom from Premier Basics, and I sat down and I was going to get started working with it, and I realized that I did not have enough of that yarn. And the other skeins I have, one is the same exact dye lot, but the yarn looks so tattered. Like it looks really rough, and I know from using skeins like that the texture will pull through when I'm working with it. So, and then the other skein that I have doesn't match those two. So I'm feeling a bit frustrated because first I make the bunny and her eyes are not the right size and it looks a bit weird. And then I finally decide on another color and I'm not sold on that, like it's not working out. So I'm back to the drawing board for the third time. And yeah, so I'm trying to decide what color I want for this next bunny. And there's a few different ones that I have been thinking about. I first was kind of thinking of like this warm beige brown kind of color. This is Hummus from Cozy Occasion yarn at Hobby Lobby. I have this, and I actually have a full, I think I have a full skein on my shelf. You can see it hiding right there. Where is it? Right there. And then I have a couple more up in the top of my closet where I keep like my back stock for yarn. I was thinking about doing that, and then the idea occurred to me that I could do one in caramel. So this is caramel from Premier Basics chenille yarn. This is one of my favorite colors to work with. I'm just not sure how it would come out as a bunny. Everyone else has been making theirs. I have seen a few in the tester chat in this color, but everyone else has been making theirs like really bright, fun colors. And I'm worried, I don't know. And I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to making one and then having a second one that I don't like. So I'm considering taking the safe route, which would be gray. I just hit myself in the face with this extra strand, but I'm considering taking the safe route and just making one in gray, and then having the bonnet on her be like maybe a periwinkle would be really pretty on this, like a bluish purpley kind of color. And then she would still have her carrot backpack. She would also have maybe like a pink nose. I had a huge strike of inspiration yesterday on using baby sand from Bernat Blanket. Again, that's kind of like in the brownish colorways, and I don't have a full skein of that right now, which is kind of surprising because I usually always have that on hand. So yeah, so right now I'm just kind of sitting and trying to decide what to do. I actually posted on my Instagram stories and asked what everyone thinks, what color everyone thinks I should use. And if you don't follow me, make sure you follow me on Instagram, because you can help me decide in things like this, and you can kind of keep up with what we're doing on the weekend and in real time throughout the week. But so I posted that question on my Instagram stories, and so far I have gotten lavender, blue, I think, and yellow. I think those were the suggestions people had so far, and I love those, but I am typically more of like a muted realist in terms of colors, so I just cannot decide. I might see what my girls think in terms of these two. The only reason that I keep coming back to this one is because, oh, I can't remember her name right now, but she runs the account Antelope, I think. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'll put a picture here of her really adorable bunny pattern that just came out last year sometime, last fall maybe. I love that bunny, and I'm pretty sure it's in caramel or a similar color. And so that's the only reason I keep coming back to this color for this pattern test, because I know I have seen this on bunnies before and it looks really cute, but I told my husband I just don't know if a little girl would want a brown bunny. I don't know, but like a brown bunny with, like, look, one of those pink, like that pink bonnet. Let me grab that real quick. This is one of my favorite colors. It's Big Twist in the color Watermelon, and it's bright. I think it's showing up pretty, there we go, pretty true to color on camera as far as I can see, but that would be so pretty. Maybe. And then something like this on the gray version. This is a really old skein, so I don't even know if you can still buy this, but it's Craft Smart yarn from Michaels in the color Periwinkle. That's really funny, because I said periwinkle would look really pretty on this. So that's that. So here's our two options. Thinking, I don't know, I'm gonna ask my girls. I might put these options into the tester chat for the pattern test, and you guys can come along with me today while I work on getting this done, because Brittany needs pictures and I've not taken pictures of the pink bunny yet since I don't like her eyes. So we are going to work on this. We are going to finish it today, and here's a good start to the vlog. Okay, quick update, because I'm still sitting here. My husband actually went to get pizza for lunch, so I am still sitting here, and as I was taking a picture of the colors to send to the girls in the group chat, I had the idea of what if the bonnet was more like a delicate pink, even though I love watermelon. So now I have picked, I'm going to take, I have picked, this is Loops and Threads. This is Soft Classic. It's like the same as that periwinkle yarn. Sorry for the shaking. I'm actually holding you right now. It's the same brand as that periwinkle yarn. I think they just changed the name of it to just Loops and Threads Soft Classic. The color is blush. So let me show you without too much shaking. So here's what we have. I think it looks so pretty. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. Say hello to my desk. I think these colors look so pretty together. And I think that pink will look really pretty and delicate as the bonnet. So even though I'm still not 100% sure if brown is the best option, I think I'm just going to go for it. I think I'm just going to do it. I think it'll be fun and something different from what everyone else has done for this pattern. So decision has been made. Confident decision, as I tell my daughters, a confident decision has been made. I am going to grab everything I need and have it out on the couch for working after lunch, and I will have you guys come along with me. Happy Monday. It's Monday. My kids are back at school. I love them dearly, you guys, but I'm so happy that they were able to go back to school today, and I know both of them were really excited as well. Here we are. It's almost 11 already. I dropped my youngest off at school at about 9, but this morning I had to go grocery shopping. And I don't know what was going on with me, but it seemed like it took me forever. And then I got gas and had to come home and put everything away. So that took a few minutes. So we've just been busy doing house stuff, even though everyone is gone. Turns out you can't just send everyone off to work and school and then just sit around and do nothing all day. So all of my house kind of mom chores and stuff are done, and so now I finally get to sit and work. And I was going to package up the Pooh and Tigger order that I showed you guys yesterday morning, but my computer is dead, and I figured this little tuft of hair, okay, sorry, it was bothering me. So my computer is almost dead, so I figured I would let it charge real quick while I just talk to you guys. Yesterday, I had showed you and let you know that I was going to start redoing the pattern test for Brittany at Twisted Hooker. And it's so funny because even after I made the second video where I was like, okay, confident decision, I know exactly what I want to do, I showed it to my husband, and then I was still wishy-washy. I was like, I don't know if I actually want to do brown. I don't know if it's a good idea. And he kind of laughed at me because when I had told him, all right, I know exactly what I want to do. And he was like, sure, because I'm a very, very indecisive person. But I did make a decision. I did decide to stick with brown, and here she is. Oh my gosh. I have been, for pictures, I had her little ear over, and I am so obsessed with this bunny. Like, this is everything that the pink one was missing. It looks like I still haven't tied this off. I should do that right now. Silly me. I was in a hurry to finish her yesterday. So actually she doesn't have a tail either, which I'm thinking I'm going to do in cream. But I was in a hurry yesterday because Brittany needed pictures, and I had been working on orders Saturday, and I was wishy-washy, and we were kind of busy with other stuff on Sunday. So finally I decided on her, and I was able to get her done, and I couldn't be more obsessed. Like, she reminds me of my Brie mouse from Oak and Marlow that I make, because I make her in this brown caramel color as well, and then I give her a light pink dress with the fur accent, so she would go perfectly with that little mouse. But I'm just so happy with how this turned out. It was really funny because I had grabbed caramel, like I'd grabbed a bunch of partial skeins where I couldn't tell if they were the same, so I would just grab another one when I was working on a project last fall. So I kind of gathered them all up, and I felt like I kept running out of yarn because I was finishing up all the partial skeins. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, no, I finished up everything, I think, for this dye lot. And actually, I was able to find one more with a perfect amount to just finish off her head. And like I said, I could not be more obsessed. She has her little cute carrot purse. Her bonnet is entirely removable. And then, like I said, I just need to give her a little tail, which in the pattern, Brittany does the same color as the bunny. But I'm kind of thinking of giving her a cream tail, maybe make it fluffy. I don't know, but I am really, really so excited on how she turned out. I love her with her little ears flopped over. By the time you are watching this, the pattern will be live because it goes live tomorrow. So I will have the link for that adorable bunny in the description below. So make sure you look out for that and go grab the pattern because it is amazing. It was so fun to make. The accessories do add a little bit of time to making it, but I felt like it worked up super quick. I had the entire bunny and bonnet done, I would say 4 hours, maybe less. Keep in mind, I am constantly interrupted by one thing or another, and I kept having to get up to find the other, find another ball of yarn or whatever. So that didn't include the carrot purse because I pulled that from the pink one that I had made. So I would say 4 hours or less, depending on how many times you are interrupted and how fast of a crocheter you are. But she's so perfect. I can't wait to share her. I'm going to post her on Instagram today. And yes, so that's the highlight of my day yesterday, was being able to finish her and just loving her as much as I do. Today, I need to get back to orders because they keep coming in. I'm so grateful. Oh goodness. When I don't even know why I was looking, but I opened my Etsy app yesterday to look at something, and I went over to figure out when I was going to get paid, I think, from Etsy, because I have it set to every 2 weeks. So I couldn't remember if it was supposed to be today or next Monday. But I looked and I was blown away by how much money Etsy said I had made this month already. Granted, a huge, over half chunk of that right now, I think over half, is from that huge order that I got Thursday night that I was telling you guys about in my last video, where someone had purchased the entire 100 Acre Cuddle collection. So but still, that's really amazing. I mean, the fact that we're starting the year as busy as I am, it's such a blessing. And I'm so, so, so grateful for everyone who continues to shop and continues to order items, no matter what it is. I had several of you buy patterns last week, and I'm just really grateful for that. So anyway, we are getting back to orders today. I have about 2.5 hours to work before I have to go pick up my youngest from preschool. We're back to our normal schedule around here. So I am going to go try to get this order packaged up so I can get it in the mailbox before the mailman comes. And then we are going to work on Piglet because that's what I started last night. The order is actually for Piglet, Pooh, and Roo. So I started on Piglet first because that's the one I haven't made in a few days, in several days, because I've had just Pooh and Roo and Tigger and this bunny. So I'm rambling now. So I will pack up this order, go finish working on Piglet, try to get him done before I have to go pick up my youngest, and then we'll see where the day goes from there. It is now almost 12:30. I did my workout for the day because I didn't want to have to do it later after the girls get home from school when things I know are just going to be crazy. So I got that done, and now I have less than 2 hours to work, but we are going to try to get as much done as possible. Just lock in and try to probably not finish Piglet, but get as much done as possible. Here we go. Hi friends, it is Tuesday afternoon. Goodness, I had to think about it. I tried to film this morning, but my children decided it was time to get in the school line like 10 minutes early. So here we are. It's about 3:45 going on 4 o'clock. Today has been a pretty rough day, if I'm being honest. Just one of those days. So but I still wanted to come on and update you guys about how today has gone, or, you know, how much work I've gotten done and all that stuff, especially because I did film a little bit today while I was in the pickup line this afternoon. So last night I was able to finish Piglet. I feel like every time, I say this every time, but he is cuter and cuter every single time I make him. I love him. So I finished Piglet. For this order, I also have to make Pooh Bear and Roo. So I started on Pooh last night after I finished Piglet, and I was able to get his head, ears, and his like nose area done. I didn't sew them all together, but I had crocheted them at least. And then I was getting pretty tired, so I went to bed a little bit early. And then this morning I was able to get his arms done and one of his legs before it was kind of time to get going with the kids and school stuff. And I was going to update you guys instead of continuing to work on his other leg, and that didn't work out. I was able, though, after we dropped my oldest off, we came home. We were supposed to run errands, but my youngest wanted to stay home, so I was able to get his other leg finished, and then I got several rows of his body done before I ran out of the skein of yarn that I was working on, and I just took that as a good stopping point. So in the car, you saw me pick up where I left off. I got his legs sewed on. I finished his body. I got his arms sewed on. And then I had to stop because it was time for the car line for the kids to start coming out and the car line to start moving. So, yeah, so that's what we got done today. That's really good progress on Pooh for today, considering it was a day for my youngest to be home from preschool. And normally I don't really get a lot of work done. And I honestly wasn't anticipating getting a lot of work done today because I thought we were going to be running errands for the majority of the morning. So better than I could have planned. I still feel like I am a little bit behind in terms of where I am with orders. The order I'm working on right now, I just looked and it came in, I looked earlier and it came in on February 1st. So today is the 10th. So that's a little over a week ago, which means I'm getting into that 1.5 week territory, which is fine because the listing on my website and on Etsy, they both say 1 to 3 weeks. So I'm still within that turnaround window. I just wish I was able to get to work a little bit faster. So hopefully tomorrow I will be able to make up for a little bit of lost time over the past few days. I am going to just come home and work as soon as I take both of the kiddos to school, and then we'll see how much we can get done. I'm thinking I will definitely get Pooh Bear done tonight, just because at this point I just need to start sewing everything else together and embroider his face, and then I'll be able to start on Roo. I do not anticipate being able to make much progress on him just because I know it's going to take a fair amount of time just to sew all the pieces for Pooh, because he has a lot of extra pieces, it seems like. So that is that. That's where we are this afternoon, Tuesday. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. We are just chugging along on orders this week, trying to get a lot of work done, trying to get stuff done around the house so we can feel productive at the end of the week. Good morning, friends. It is Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. I got coffee this morning. I was not planning. Oh my gosh, it fits perfectly. On my way to the craft store. This is from Allie Blair. Please forgive me, but this is from Allie Blair. Coffee cozy. Anyway, I got coffee this morning as a way to treat myself. I was actually trying to get coffee and Dunkin's brownie batter donut, which is like a brownie or a chocolate explosion, to kind of treat myself because I got a huge order last night while I was working before we were going to bed. I got an order notification that I saw come through, and it was for the entire 100 Acre Cuddle collection and a blanket that I've had in my shop for about a year and a half now, and I'm speechless. Like, I don't even know. So I don't have a lot of time to chat because I need to get to work. My orders right now, I might put it on the screen right here, what my orders currently look like, and it's intense. Like, it's a lot of work, and I have already told you guys I'm starting to feel a little bit stressed. Actually, last night I changed my processing time for this collection to be 4 to 5 weeks on Etsy, and then on my website I'm pretty sure I did 3 to 5 as the processing time, just because I am getting into almost I'm at the 1.5 week mark as of today for the order I'm currently working on. And then it'll speed up a little bit because I've got a couple of orders that are just for one thing. So those will go a little bit faster than the orders that have multiple items in there. But because I have a couple of orders now for the entire collection, I know that's going to take me a second to get them all done. So I wanted to bump out the processing time to just be a bit of a better reflection on when it's going to get there, but also to give myself a little bit of room to breathe and not end up feeling so stressed as the days and weeks go on, especially considering I can't work all day every day right now just because my youngest is home from preschool, for 2 days during the week. And then on the weekend, we're having family time and we've got other stuff going on. So I've updated that. I feel really good about updating it. Usually I'm like, no, I don't want to miss out on sales if somebody wants it sooner, but I feel very strongly that was the best decision to do right now. And so I'm happy I've done that. I'm excited to keep getting the orders and to keep working on them. So that's that. I did get Pooh Bear finished up for the current order that I'm working on right now. I finished him up last night. It's funny because maybe it was just how I was holding him. On the screen, his ears look so wonky, but I think that's due to how I'm holding him because he actually is perfect, quite perfect. So last up for this order, I have Rue, and I was able to get his arms, tail, and legs done last night. And then I also did his entire body because I was playing a bit of yarn chicken with the blue yarn that I use for his shirt. And I was really worried I was going to run out. And I was trying to get as much done as possible so I could get a head start on working on him today. And I got his entire body done last night before I went to bed. I had his legs sewn on, and I don't think I've done his arms yet just because sometimes sewing the arms on are a bit wonky. I've talked about that in some of my other videos. Like, I'll get one that's perfect and then the other one seems like it's too far back. So I just held off on that. And then this morning I was able to work on him before I had to take the girls to school, and I got almost his entire head done. So I feel really good about finishing that up today, and then that order will ship tomorrow. And I actually went to Walmart this morning and I grabbed some boxes. So I grabbed this size 15 by 12 by 10. And I think it's going to be a pretty good size to fit this order in of 3 of the Loveys. And then I bought 3 of the boxes because I'm going to try to use that for the 2 orders that I have for the entire collection. I'm hoping they'll fit. If not, I'll just hold on to the boxes for something else. While I was there, I also checked out the yarn, and I'm really happy I did because I had a light bulb moment while I was standing there that I needed more of this cream Walmart yarn for Eeyore. So I grabbed 2 of these. This one, that is strange. We're just gonna throw that away. Anyway, so I grabbed 2 of these. Right now, I think I have like 5 Pooh Bears and 5 Eeyores or something to make. So I don't know if I will need both of these per se, but I have them. If I don't use them for Eeyore, then I have some in stock to do something else with for my markets. And then I also spotted this almond. If you remember in last week's video, I had gotten my Michael's order on Friday and I was really confused why I had an almond in there. And then I realized that I think I was wanting this old new colorway, this more like light cream, light beigey color. And it came out in like the OG skin tone kind of almond is what I ended up getting. Walmart only had 1 of these, but I have nothing but scraps of this. And I really, really love this color, specifically for bunnies. Like if I would have had this, I probably would have used it on this twisted hooker bunny, just because I really, really love this color. So I grabbed this. If they would have had more, I would have grabbed more than 1, but hopefully we'll still be able to find these here and there. If not, it is what it is. Such is life, and we shall move on. But I grabbed this. I grabbed the ivory color, the boxes, and we are home. Let's finish up Rue today and then hopefully get a good head start on Eeyore, which I know is next. I'm kind of debating if I want to batch make the next 2 orders since they are both for just 1 Eeyore. I haven't quite decided yet, so I'm going to be thinking on that today. And yeah, that's where we're at. So let's get going. should have a few minutes to record this before I have to take my oldest to school. So let's see if this works. I wanted to come on and update you guys because it is Thursday morning. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good ever what time you are watching this. I had a very productive day yesterday, and I'm so happy that I did because I'm feeling a little bit better, not a ton, but I am feeling good about how much work I got done yesterday. So I was able to finish Rue, and he looks just as adorable as always. I love how cute he is with his little tail, and he's just perfect. So this will get packaged up today with Piglet and Pooh that you guys have already seen in this video. And I was also able to start on Eeyore, which I think I showed you in the clips from yesterday that I was starting on Eeyore. And I was able to finish him up last night. So here he is with his little bow on his tail and his hair. So there is Eeyore, and this is a separate order, but that will also get packaged up to head out today. And I feel good about that. I still have so much work to get done over the next couple of weeks with these, but I'm trying not to worry too much about that and just focus on feeling the gratitude that these orders keep coming in, because they are really, it's such a blessing to be this busy. So I will get these packaged up today after we probably after we drop my oldest off at school, and then I'll run them to the post office while we're out today for my youngest's gymnastics class. This morning I also was able to do a bit of yarn inventory. I was telling my husband yesterday afternoon that I have a ton of orders, as you guys know, and I keep having to order a little bit of yarn here and there as I'm going, which I think is the best way to do it, instead of ordering like 20 of every color and potentially getting stuck with a lot of it. But I told him, I said, you know, yarn is on sale at Michael's right now. I'm really hoping it goes on sale with Hobby Lobby next week because it was on sale last week. And I said, I have a little bit of this color, a little bit of that color. I was like, I know I don't have enough to do all of my orders. So I pulled everything out from the basket and the top of my closet and just laid it all out and went through the orders that I have versus how many skeins of each color that I have. And I was able to do a big Michael's order for, I think it was 7 total skeins for Tigger, Pooh, and I went on ahead and got yarn for Rabbit from there as well, instead of just ordering it from Amazon, because Michael's has a coupon code right now for their yarn. So I went on ahead and got that and got it ordered or whatever. So hopefully it'll be here early next week. They've been pretty good about shipping rather quickly. And like I said, I'm really hoping yarn goes on sale at Hobby Lobby next week. Even if it doesn't, I will have to go and get more for my orders so that way I can keep working. And yeah, that is where we are for the day. Since I finished up this Eeyore, after this I have another Eeyore, and then I have 2 Pooh Bears to make. So I know for sure I'll be able to get the next Eeyore order out probably Saturday at the absolute latest. Today's Thursday, but it's not really a work day for me, so I'll be able to get the next Eeyore out on Saturday likely, and then from there I'm hoping that I'll be able to do both Pooh Bears over the weekend. Actually no, I will only be able to do one because I only have 1 skein, so I may consider like doing a Michael's run just to see if they have any up there that I can just pick up, but we'll see. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. We have other stuff to get done today and tonight in terms of making sure my girls have all their stuff ready for their Valentine's parties at school tomorrow. So we have to, you know, sign their cards. And my oldest, we picked up a boxed craft at Hobby Lobby last week when they were off of school, and I just need to finish hot gluing some of the pieces so she can finish that up tonight. And all the normal stuff where it starts getting hectic at the end of the week at our house because we're nearing the end of the week and the weekend. So that is what things will look like today. Whatever I do today, eventually you will come along with me. If nothing else, you can hang out with me while I crochet in the car this afternoon. And yeah, I hope you're having a good little moment with whatever you're crocheting, and I will see you guys in a bit. Hi friend, it is almost 12 o'clock. It's almost lunchtime, and I just realized I have not talked to you today. So hello, I am currently just packing my cute little bag. I have to show you guys this because I've never showed it on Instagram before, but my husband bought me this tote bag for Mother's Day, I think, last year, and I am still obsessed with it. Maybe it was my birthday, I can't remember, but I love it so much, and it's so big. I can fit so much yarn in here, and I've been using it here lately to pack up yarn and take in the car, like for pickup line and stuff like that. So just packing that with yarn to make poo, because I just finished my Eeyore that I was working on in the car his sweet face. Look at that. Let's see. Will it focus? Trying to get it to focus. There we go. I just adore their faces every single time. But I literally just finished this guy. Where did I last check in with you? I can't even remember. Yesterday morning. Yesterday, and I can't remember if I told you. Yes, I had finished the other Eeyore order, and I had to get started on this one. Now I'm remembering. Please forgive me. It's mom brain. Anyway, I got my orders taken to the post office yesterday, and then I got started on this guy in the pickup line yesterday afternoon while we were waiting to pick up my oldest. And honestly, I didn't get a ton done on him just because we got in line kind of late, and I was a bit tired because I had done my workout, and then we literally ran out the door basically to go get in the pickup line. So I was just a bit tired, but I was able to get a few things done. I worked on him a bit more last night, and then this morning before I took the girls to school, and then I came back and finished him up, and so there he is. He's done. I was really hoping to get him in the mail today, but our mailman came almost 2 hours ago, and I literally just finished Eeyore, so that's okay. I will get him in the mail tomorrow. I did get in the mail though my bunny order. Okay, hold on. Stop focusing on random parts on the screen. Sorry, guys. I did get my brown chocolate bunny that I had pattern tested for Twisted Hooker, at the beginning of the week. I really wanted to get that on my website because my goal this year with markets is to be making stuff. And even though they may be for markets, getting them online as well. And I had not gotten her online. Sorry, I'm just picking at fuzz on Eeyore. And I hadn't gotten her online, but I wanted to see if anyone was interested because she's so adorable. And so I posted her on my Instagram stories last night and just said, if anyone is interested, let me know. I did end up getting someone last night and someone else this morning, but the person from last night, she did pay, and so I sold the bunny for $48. I do think probably it could have been for a little bit more, maybe even $50, $52. I'm not sure. But for just the first one that I sold, I think that's fine. And yeah, so that sold. I did get it packaged up, and literally I was putting it in my mailbox as the mailman was turning onto our road. So, oh my goodness. But that is where we are at for the morning. Packaged in order, finished in order, and we are ready to roll into the next one. I have 2 Pooh Bears up next to make, and right now I only have enough yarn to make one of them. I did tell you guys yesterday, I think that I ordered yarn for Michael's for my orders, or maybe I told you that I really wanted to. I can't remember. But I did place an order, and then I got 2 more orders yesterday afternoon in my shop. And so I went to order yarn for Pooh Bear to pick up from Michael's in person, and unfortunately this morning I got the notification that my order was canceled because my Michael's was out of stock, which doesn't terribly surprise me because I have noticed that they are just not keeping a full stock of the demi pearl yarn, which is really disappointing because I know some of the other Michael's are, and I just don't have the time to kind of be trekking all over the place to pick up yarn. Also, like I know down in Nashville, about 45 minutes from us or a little bit more, they have yarn at that Michael's, but I don't like going out of town even for somewhere close like that. I don't like going out of town when my girls are at school, just in case they need me to come pick them up, like if something happens. So we will just keep relying on ordering it for now. So like I was saying, I have 2 Pooh Bears, but I only have enough to make one of them. So I'm just going to go on ahead and start making the one and see when my Michael's order gets here. I did get a notification that it shipped yesterday, but also last week when I ordered yarn, I had gotten a notification that it shipped, but it didn't do anything, which I thought was strange. So I don't know, but it said it could get here at the beginning-ish of the week next week, so fingers crossed. If I cannot get that done, after my 2 Pooh Bear orders, I have an order for the entire collection. That's the one that I was telling you guys. At the end of my last video, I had gotten an order. I had gotten an order when I was getting ready for bed for the entire collection. That's that one. So I'm catching up a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. But that's the order that will be next after the Pooh Bears. And I do have yarn for a couple of those right now. So I could make, because I was looking at my inventory for these, and I could make Piglet, Eeyore, and Tigger right now for that. So once I finish this Pooh, I might get started on that, just depending on where the yarn is and when it gets here. I am now officially less than 2 months until my first market in April, and I now have 3 markets in April. So I'm beginning to just try to think about how I can organize my work schedule to get the most done in the to get as much done as I can in the most effective way, if that makes sense. Something else that I really need to do, and I've been thinking about making a whole separate video for the beginning stages of market prep for me, but I really need to pull out. You can kind of see right there, there's a bag right here, and it's got the majority of my inventory in it. I have a vague idea of what inventory I have left over from last fall, but I think it would be really beneficial to put my eyes on everything before I start making a list of what I want to work on. So yeah, so there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff cooking up here right now. And like I said, I just want to be as productive and efficient as possible, so I am not taking a lot of time away from my family to work, or starting to have really late nights working, because I don't do well when I have to stay up really late, like a lot in a row. I just don't do well with that mentally. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna stop rambling and get back to work. Thanks for listening to my ramble, and let me know if you guys like balance markets and orders online. Please let me know if you have any tips on that, and also let me know if you would be interested in kind of going through my inventory and then maybe hearing like what I want to make for my markets in April. If you want a whole separate video on that, because you know, I can talk, I can ramble. So that does have to be a separate video, and let me know if you're interested, and then maybe we can work that up over the weekend or something. Why am I saying over the weekend and you guys are literally not going to see this video until the weekend? Yeah, okay. Back to work. Goodbye. friends, I was just sitting here waiting for my husband to get home, and I realized I should probably end this vlog. So this is the end of this week's video. Thanks for hanging out with me this week as we tried to be as productive as possible and succeeded in some ways and failed in other ways, but that's okay. I hope you will follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I'm at Two Little Knots, so you can see what we're up to on the weekend and kind of get updates on what I'm working on throughout the week in real time instead of waiting for the end of the week and the new video. Also, if you have made it this far into the video, if you've watched this far, I would love for you to leave a bunny emoji in the comments. And yeah, that's for the bunny test that we were working on last week and that we finished up this week, and we ended the week by selling. So perfect ending to the week with the really adorable bunny. And that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next week.